First of all, let us agree that once the debt restructuring plan is done, it's done. Okay? So there are multiple players. We deal with multiple governments on the bilateral loans and multiple players on the multinational loans and many more on the ISBs. And everything is linked together. So if you are going to say, look, we are going to radically change the IMF program because the JVP voted against the IMF program, then we are looking at a very uncertain situation, right? Now, we have said we will renegotiate certain things in the IMF program.
Example?
And, for example, the three things. Yeah. One is the focus on revenue. The second is the debt burden that we will be carrying 95% to GDP, and by 2027, 100% to GDP, which we think is actually too high. And the third point is that, you know, we are planning to go to the international markets in 2026 or 2027, which means not only we will have to have rupees in the treasury, but also reserves in the central bank so that we can buy those currency, which means we have to have a focus on tradable growth. So those are the three things that we need to improve on in the agreement. But if you are saying we are going to radically change the agreement, we have a problem.
Anil, is that a fair depiction of the JVP, that you're going to radically change?
We think that we need a fresh mandate from the general public to renegotiate this deal, mainly on the aspect of reducing this particular burden, that the austerity measures. The other area is the investigation on the debt, because there are lots of, because information is there, odious debt is also there. The other area is to come out with a vibrant economic development plan.
Now we saw what India did, because we heard Mr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia yesterday. And today you said even a communist party went through the reform. India never went back. They started on a journey, and that journey continued through Congress, BJP, NDA, was the other one, all of those, right? So what I'm saying is,
I don't see Anil disagreeing with you.
No, what I'm saying is, once then we have to spell out. You need to spell out what exactly are the changes you want to do, because what I heard from you is, what I noted down is that the IMF had no idea of a development plan. Right? They didn't have any idea of what the production plan was, on how to go with the production plan, and therefore they went with a revenue.
I think that is misunderstanding. What I just mentioned, that the IMF of course doesn't have a plan for us, because IMF comes alone with how best it could be stabilized. I said the government doesn't have it. That is one area. But mainly the renegotiation, what I highlighted, only three areas. One is just to reduce the burden of the austerity measures. If you can broaden the tax base, actually tax base is a critical issue. And all these measures recommended keeping this economy as it is, increasing taxes and charging many things on the poor, it's a bad thing. The other area, just to, if you want to comment on, the debt restructuring process, because debt restructuring, there is a responsibility from the creditor side as well. And now creditors just ask for the equitable treatment. So even IMF and other parties, they take the difference between external creditors and local. When it comes, as long as you share the bearer share from the locally, they do not worry from who it is taken. That is the reason why government may have gone to the EPF rather than taking the money from others. The other area why I just highlighted in the renegotiation plan, of course, when we have very good evidence that with a vibrant economic plan, how best we grow our economy, how best we improve our external resources, then of course IMF will have to listen to us. But if they do not, they have to come out with some evidence. Fact, this is what I said. They are the key robust, the elements I highlighted, Harsha.
Harsha, I think I want you to now move to the private sector. I don't see a lot of disagreement with Anil saying and what you yourself have said publicly. You said, well,
Yeah,
70% inflation, domestic market took a hit, creditors must have a share. I think maybe you all are saying since you're trying to forge consensus.
No, we are not. We are not. We are not saying the same thing. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying the same thing. I am saying that there has to be consensus on the reform. Right? Austerity, unfortunately, has to happen because of what the situation that we were in. Right? Stabilization needed to be done. It is upon stabilization that we can grow. Right? So there is obviously, I don't necessarily agree with the government's plan on structural change and growth, but obviously they have some sort of plan. If not, the IMF will not agree on the long-term timelines going to 2038, right? So therefore, to say, look, the government didn't have a plan, I don't think that is fair to say. Obviously, their plan is not exactly your plan, and your plan is not exactly our plan.
I think the